Warm greetings from the High 10. It is Everyday Shenanigans on this Tuesday, August 25th, 2020. I'd like to bring you said information coming out of Kenosha, Wisconsin. It is an update to the 29-year-old male who was shot in the back 7 times by police officers. If you need verification for the storyline, please log on to CNN. Jacob Blake needs a miracle to walk again after Kenosha police shot him, attorney says. And this was just updated at 5:45 p.m. and it is now 7:07 Eastern Time. Jacob Blake, a man shot multiple times by police in Kenosha, Wisconsin, has been paralyzed and his family is hoping for a miracle, their attorney said. Plural attorneys. It's going to take a miracle for Jacob Blake Jr. to ever walk again, Benjamin Crump told reporters. The 29-year-old black man was undergoing surgery Tuesday afternoon, 2 days after police shot him at close range as he tried to enter an SUV in the vehicle where his 3, 5, and 8-year-old sons, Crump had said. And there's also a picture of Mr. Blake and his children. And very sad today. But anyway, Blake's father described the shooting as a senseless attempted murder. They shot my son 7 times. 7 times like he didn't matter. But my son matters, Jacob Blake Sr. said. He's a human being and he matters. Blake's suffered multiple injuries, including a gunshot wound to one arm, damage to his kidney, liver, and spinal cord, said Patrick Salvey Jr., another family attorney. He had a bullet go through some or all of his spinal cord, at least one bullet. He has holes in his stomach. He had to have nearly his entire colon and small intestines removed, Salvey added, saying the family will file a civil lawsuit against the police department over the shooting. And there is said video in this commentary and also pictures of the family and Mr. Crump, the attorney. The shooting has sparked protests and unrest in the state. Governor Tony Evers declared a state of emergency after urging demonstrators to remain calm. Ahead of an expected new round of protests, Kenosha County declared another state of emergency curfew from 8 p.m. Tuesday to 7 a.m. Wednesday. Sheriff David Beth asked the public to stay off the streets for their safety. Demonstrators torched cars and set buildings ablaze on Monday night, disobeying a curfew. They faced off with law enforcement outside the Kenosha County Courthouse, some tossing water bottles and setting off fireworks, according to CNN affiliate WISN. 2 city trucks were among the vehicles burned. Law enforcement responded with flashbangs, tear gas, and rubber bullets, the station reported. Okay. Only police reform will stop protests, Crump says. Enraged protesters poured into the streets Sunday evening after the video of the shooting circulated on social media. In it, 2 officers trail a step or 2 behind Jacob Blake as he walks around a gray SUV. As he reaches the driver door and opens it, the nearest officer grabs the tail of Blake's tank top and 7 shots are heard, followed by a sustained sound of a car horn as Blake collapses into the car. 2 Kenosha officers are on administrative leave. The local police union has urged the public to withhold judgment until a state investigation is complete. The shooting came as demonstrators continue to decry police violence in American cities, including the encounters that killed George Floyd and Breonna Taylor. The night before Blake's shooting, protests erupted in Lafayette, Louisiana after police killed a black man, Trayford Pillerin, 31, outside a convenience store. If we don't have the systematic reform that this moment in America is crying out for, then we are going to continue to see hashtag after hashtag, protest after protest, and cities burning all across America, Crump said. Several businesses were burning late Monday in Kenosha, and Governor Tony Evers called in the National Guard to help protect critical infrastructure such as utilities and fire stations and to ensure Kenoshians are able to assemble safely, he said. And there's also a video in the said commentary of Jacob Blake's uncle giving an interview. In the Wisconsin Capitol, about I don't think they put this in here right, 2-hour drive from Kenosha, police arrested 6 people, including one armed with a handgun, after some marchers began breaking windows, setting fires, looting, and throwing rocks and bottles at officers, Madison police said. Protesters also marched in New York City, Washington, D.C., and Minneapolis, where at least 5 people were arrested. We will continue showing up until they're tired of killing us, a Manhattan protester told CNN affiliate WLNY. Investigation into police conduct begins. Kenosha County District Attorney Michael Gravely's office is investigating the shooting, as in the Wisconsin Justice Department's Division of Criminal Investigation. The agency plans to present a report to Gravely's office within 30 days, it said. We're asked to make two determinations, Gravely said. 1. Did any officer in this case commit any crimes? And 2, are there any crimes that we believe were committed that we can prove beyond a reasonable doubt? If the answer is yes to both questions, Gravely will file charges, he said. Gravely also hopes federal prosecutors will conduct a parallel civil rights investigation into Blake's shooting and prosecute any alleged police misconduct, he said. The investigation will allow this community to heal sooner because independent prosecuting agencies will be able to make determinations at the same time, Gravely said. Just after 5 p.m. Sunday, officers responded to a domestic disturbance called in the city of 100,000 located on the Lake Michigan shoreline between Chicago and Milwaukee. It's unclear who called 911 or what happened before the video of the shooting begins. In a police call, a dispatcher says Blake isn't supposed to be there and that he took a complainant's keys and refused to leave. The dispatcher later explained she doesn't have more details because the caller was uncooperative. Crump, who represents many families who loved ones were shot by police, including Floyd, says Blake was leaving the scene after breaking up a fight between two women. Okay. Rashawn White, who filmed the video that's been viewed millions of times, says two women were arguing when Blake arrived and ordered one of his sons into a vehicle. Blake then walked into a home behind a woman, White said. White, who was across the street, stepped away and when he returned saw police wrestling with Blake before one of the officers deployed his taser on Blake. He said he doesn't know what started the argument and began filming what he called the middle and the end of the altercation. Jacob kind of leaned in the car and they proceeded to wrestle him toward the back of the car and he went to the other side of the car, White told CNN. When they were on the other side of the car on the ground, I had to pick up my camera and start recording. It's very interesting. So they wrestled him to the back of the car. Okay, see, new information. The dispatcher's report of shots fired came about 5 minutes after the initial report, according to Crump. Police had already used a taser on Blake before the shooting. It's unclear from the video if both officers opened fire. The second officer has his gun out as the shots are heard, the video clip shows. As always, the video currently circulating does not capture all the intricacies of highly dynamic incident. We ask that you withhold from passing judgment until all facts are known and released, said Pete Dietz, president of the Kenosha Professional Police Association. This is CNN. Very lengthy. So let me say this, and I need to say this to lots of people who watch my channel, don't know me, don't know my disposition, don't know me personally. Some of you obviously don't know me. You listen to me, but you don't know me. Let me say this is a commentary channel. I don't show videos. I don't show memes. I don't do any of that. This is a commentary channel. You're willing to watch me, listen, comment. I may answer, I may not. It depends on my mood. But one thing I will say about this, you only know what is being presented to you. So, therefore, when the news breaks, don't blame the news for the story that they are reporting when they just got to the scene. Some of you like to judge the news for hyping up this and putting the person was Mexican, black, this and that. Well, people are going to ask anyway, was he black? Was she white? Come on now, we all grown. When the news go to the scene, they don't know Pookie, Ray Ray, Betty, John. They're just there to get the information. That's why they talk to this person and that person. And then they get a name and then they go to the mama, then the daddy, then the cousin, then the neighbor. They don't know these people. And some of you get so beside yourself assuming that the news is part of the problem. Well, the part of the problem is the world is in a chaotic state. That's the problem. Everybody is guilty of doing something he or she has no business. Be it committing a crime, orchestrating a crime, leaving a crime, reporting the news, adding a little, taking away, not giving all the said information. You see, you don't know any more than what the said news brings to you, such as what I'm doing right now. I don't know any more than what I read in that article, and that's why I give you a source so you can go and verify it for yourself. I don't like people arguing with me and other people on YouTube and other social media sites about the source. If you want to get mad at the source. They didn't make it up. They just went and said, hey, this happened. But it doesn't mean that it's all of what happened. And that's the point of a story. You're never going to know what actually happened because, hell, you were not there. So as you see, since Sunday, a lot has come from the storyline. First, we hear he was stopping two women from fighting. In this said commentary, the neighbor who's filming says he was stopping two people from fighting. Then we're hearing something now about him taking some keys from someone. He had a past record for sexual assault, this and that. Once again, the news doesn't know he had a sexual assault, a criminal record, or a lengthy criminal record. How would they know? Same thing with me and you watching a story unfold. We don't know these people. We don't know what past they had. If they just got arrested yesterday, just bonded out yesterday. All we know is a young man got shot at his SUV. He didn't comply. He did not stop. Was he on drugs, hyped up, drunk? I don't know. I wasn't there. At one moment I thought he was walking kind of heavy. I thought maybe he was on something. Next article you read or hype you're hearing, oh, well, he was on PCP, this and that. You see, you don't know. And this is how rumors get started and people jump on social media sites and start judging other people for giving their commentary because they're curious to what actually happened. You can't get mad at me for wanting to know and others wanting to know what happened to this guy. Did he not comply with the rules to stop? Obviously he did not, but that was his choice. And yes, a faithful choice he made because it caused him to be now in the hospital with a lot of organs damaged, fighting for his life and possibly paralyzed. But my thing about these stories is this. Everyone has done something wrong. Everyone has a past. But each person is allowed to be apprehended properly, restrained properly, subdued properly, put into the back of a police car, paddy wagon, and taken to the jail. It is up to the district attorney to decide if they want to file charges against that said person. It is then up to a judge to decide their fate, or 12 members of a jury and or the grand jury. You see where I'm going with that? A lot of people want to be the judge and jury about why the police should shoot a person, I don't think it takes 7 times to subdue anyone, make a person stop. I refuse to believe that when he was shot the first time, that he was still rambling in the car for the said weapon that somebody says he had, but yet an interview with the cousin says no weapon was found. So some people are saying that the police was telling him to drop a weapon, a knife he had. But then the cousin says there was no weapon. So which is it? He had a weapon, he didn't have a weapon. There was a gun in the car, which is it? The fact that you're shooting at this man and there are children in the car. Who's to say one of the children didn't decide to want to crawl over the seat because they see the police at their father? They're scared. They're upset. They want to intervene. You shoot a child. Now what? Do you see where I'm going with that? They should have subdued Mr. Blake before he ever reached the SUV. Because now this person who filmed it is now saying they were wrestling with him at some point. So this is before he even gets to the other side of the vehicle. It is also stated he was tased, yet he's still walking, as if he's a zombie. You see where I'm going with that? Yeah. He ain't no Superman, superhero. So what is the truth? They should have told him, sir, if you do not stop walking, we will shoot you. Do you want to be shot? Now, naturally, it was his choice to walk on, and people will do what they want to do. But my problem with this story and so many other stories is that why empty a gun out 7 times? You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. That's the only problem I actually have. Because we can't go back in time to say why this gentleman kept walking. That was his choice. He did that. And you see the officer pulling on his shirt, so he was right there with them while that car door was open, and decides to shoot him in the back. Whatever happened to leg, arm? So you were just shooting everywhere. Because now they say an arm was shot at. But see, I said you should have did all that before he reached the car, because the children were in the car. I don't know what happened Sunday. in Kenosha. I don't know who said what to whom, why he was there, if he was actually breaking up a fight, if two women were actually fighting, if there was a fight over him, somebody caught somebody doing something, somebody said something out of the way, it was a domestic situation between he and a friend, a girl, baby mama. I don't know. Now, were these people lying to say there was a fight between two women because they didn't want to get this guy in trouble? I don't know. All I'm saying is, when the police got to the scene, no matter if he had warrants, criminal past, they should have went to him, tried to talk to him to ascertain what the situation was, and when he didn't comply, they should have took him down, Johnny, on the spot. Not a knee to the neck, and not 7 rounds to the back. See where I'm going? You don't let somebody continuously keep walking, and it's more than one officer on the scene to assess and control the situation. That's my thing. And I want you all to know that I'm tired of hearing about people's past when being interrogated or arrested for a crime. Many serial killers, rapists, pedophiles, murderers, torturers go on the run, go on the lam, hide. They get DNA, whichever evidence to go look for the person, and they arrest them without incident. Some put up a fight, some don't. But they don't end up with their head busted, choked out, suffocated, knee to the neck, shot 7 times. Do you see where I'm going? Lots of people resist arrest, and they don't end up dead. They don't end up fighting for their life in the ICU. That's all I'm saying, is that many people get arrested with and without criminal records, and they go to jail without incident. And many people get pulled over, interrogated by the law, and somehow they end up beat up, choked out because they would not comply. And like I said, I'm not these people. Everybody handles themselves differently. I don't have to agree with how they handle themselves. Yes, they should comply so they don't end up damn dead. But people don't, and they continue to not comply. And that is the problem as well. That you all are going to have to comply with these damn cops so you don't end up a story on CNN and YouTube. Because most of these cops, a lot of them don't care about people. And that's the feeling I have with a lot of them. Some of them, a lot, which is so ever, they don't care. A lot of them don't even like their damn job, but they're there doing it, but they're doing a poor job of it. And it shows in their commentary, in their disposition, when they get to the scene of a crime, altercation, situation. They don't want to be there. And so my thing is, don't be a criminal, and don't be a cop on a job that don't want to be a cop. And that's just a spoken word. Prayers for this family, prayers for this young man, his family. I'm sure his children are traumatized. I'm sure everyone is worried if he's going to be paralyzed or not. This is a messed up, jacked up situation. But as I state, yes, he made the decision to walk off from the law enforcement. They continued to trail in behind him, which led to him opening that car door, and they shot him 7 times. I do believe that was a lot, and I do believe this incident should have ended way before it reached the curb and the pavement. That's my opinion on this said matter. Thanks for listening. Drop your comments below. Like, share, subscribe. And this is Everyday Shenanigans. Stay masked up. Be safe. Try to obey the law best you can. Keep your mouth closed. Keep your hands down to your side. Don't reach for the glove compartment, under the seat, the visor, the drive shaft. Honey, don't do it. Because you could be a little old lady and somebody's having a bad damn day and say, hey, the old lady was reaching for a gun or this. And then we find out she ain't got no weapon. I'm just saying. We don't want you to be a story. So you all stay safe. Use your head out here. Just use your head out here. Thanks a lot for listening. Everyday Shenanigans. Bye-bye.